How's it going, guys? Just want to show you some updates on the game engine I've been working on, Ancient Archer. It's just an OpenGL C++ game engine, so we're going to take a look at some code and just go over the changes, and I'm also going to talk about future plans. So if you're interested in all this, just stick around. There's links down below to the code and the source. It's all open source. You can see the changelog, all that good stuff. Alright, let's jump into the changes and let's talk some code and game engines. Build 3, third semi-official release. I'm calling them a pre-release. I just wanted to get a release system going and a versioning system going because I hadn't been doing that when I was just tinkering around. This is an old engine from back in my college days when I was in my first OpenGL and graphics course. Alright, so let's talk about these main changes here. Well, I've added a few things. I was messing with adding a little GUI system, and now I added the ability for them to be textured or colored. I also refactored how the shaders and lights work in the C++ side, and I turned on the alpha on the textures, and I added some settings, just maximizing VSync, just some screen setting stuff. And I refactored the whole engine initialization, and I fixed in the shaders some object positioning calculations and normal position calculations. Some that probably shouldn't have been broke to begin with, some I just overlooked, but hey, shaders and lighting is a lot of complicated stuff. And in the dark launch section, these are just stuff that's behind the scenes, not really publicly available, so if you use it you won't really see these. That's pretty much what dark launch means. I've added IMGUI behind the scenes, so there might be some front end coming for that if I don't use my own custom interface all the time. So yeah, I started adding the custom interface and I was like, why not add IMGUI? So yeah, they're both in there. And I added some animation code. I was trying to get animations working for some base cases, and it didn't quite work out yet, but we're getting closer. So there's a bunch of code in there. Most of it originated from, I think, Learn OpenGL, but it seemed like it was pretty buggy the way they had it, so it's not really going to work completely as is anyway. And or maybe I did something wrong. So there's still a lot of work to do there, but if you compile it, you'll notice a bunch of warnings from it. And last but not least, the other changes, just some smaller stuff. I worked on the camera class some. I made the interface using an internal shader. I used to have an interface shader. Now it's just all contained, so you don't even see it. I added a scene and model check utility, just something that reads the model and kind of tells you about it. Some basic stuff like that. And I made some changes to demo apps, which we'll see. And I refactored the timing. The timing's actually the same. I just used GLW timers instead of chrono. It just seemed a little more lightweight. I already had GLW already in the engine and everything, and just adding chrono is kind of like doubling up the same thing. So I just got rid of one of them. And I also was kind of messing with textures and stuff, and noticed they're not exactly working right with the fog lighting stuff. So it's diffuse only right now, which should be temporary, but that's just kind of how I left it. I'm kind of working on a deadline system. It's really been like a couple months since build 2, so I really need to get build 3 out, and I want to do these on a more stable basis. I'll get to the if, that'll be the future time. So let's go ahead and run it and see what that looks like. Alright, so if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, well, basically you just open the solution with Visual Studio, install libraries, everything's in the README. I don't want to talk about that too much, but I'm going to run this example project here, and it's close to the same as before, but you'll notice some differences. Currently, I only have a flashlight, so it's not super strong. I turn it on and off, and as you can see, the lighting is staying on him as it should and moving as he moves, or whatever. I guess what I'm trying to say is previously the lighting like stuck. It was weird. It was the normal maps that were messed up, so or the normal calculation. So fixing that, the lighting should all work better. I think there's only a flashlight, but also there's point lights and directional lights, and they should all work good. But this is just a quick little sample. So that's really it for that. I kind of started messing around with the idea of making an editor, but that didn't get included. I don't know if I'm going to go forward with that. As I talk about future plans, you'll see why. Awesome. You made it this far. If you could like the video and stuff just for the YouTube algorithm. I hate saying this, but I guess I kind of have to say it. It's a YouTube thing. So yeah, it would just mean a lot. And if you want to follow this project more, you can start there and follow it over there, because I do work on it pretty routinely. Basically just see this whole list of stuff since version 02 here, and yeah, there's been quite a few commits, but really I've been not working on this very diligently, and because I have my reasons, I have a lot of other interests and stuff, so sometimes this gets put on the back burner, or when I get stuck on something and it gets frustrating, like the animation stuff. I worked on that for like 2-3 weeks straight, and when it didn't work and I couldn't get it to work, I was just kind of done, and I just had to stop and walk away or change direction. So I've got to kind of rethink that a little bit, because that's not a good coding habit. You don't want to get yourself in a situation where you're frustrated and feel like you want to stop. That's kind of the important lesson I've learned here. And all right, I'm going to go to the announcement section of this video. Announcement section. So I guess there's a couple announcements here. Oh yeah, the bounties. Before the announcements, the bounties. Yeah, I brought this up last time. I'll talk about it a little more. So on this repo, if you go to projects, there's a bounty board, and you basically just have to make a pull request that solves some of the stuff. But I don't know. I just kind of initialized it with some kind of low numbers, you know, for the bounty numbers because, well, A, I'm not rich, and B, I don't know. I kind of was hoping to get a little feedback, but basically nobody really said anything. So I don't really know what to think. I was thinking of maybe doubling the bounty price and maybe that, or the bounty reward, and maybe that would get some attention. But I don't know. I can't tell if people are just like, I don't care what the price is, that's just too hard or what. I have no idea, but I don't know. I don't really know how to properly ask for help because I don't like asking for help without having some way to, you know, like pay you or something. I don't know. It's weird. So this bounty board is just up in the air. If you want to work on them, awesome. As long as it's up here, I'll pay you whatever it's worth. But at some point, I think I'm going to take down this bounty board because I've started to realize, you know, as I get more seasoned with this stuff, I kind of realize that I can implement these without that much trouble now if I really just commit the time. I just haven't committed a whole lot of time to them is what it comes down to. And I'll get, oh, there's a screen button. That's cool. So I don't know. If you guys could like just give me any feedback on how to ask people to, you know, if you could implement this, I'll pay you this type of thing. I don't know. It's just not working with this bounty board. No one seemed interested at all. There's even one that's like, I don't know. They're not super expensive, like $50, $50, 125, 25. Like some of these are really easy. Like this music looping one, it's probably like one line of code, honestly, or 2 lines. And all of this stuff has really easy tutorials all over the place for it. So, or not, I don't, easy is not the right word. There's plenty of documentation for how to do all this. So I don't feel like it's super hard. Like if someone just knew where the code was, I could literally just copy paste it over and throw it in there real quick and it would probably work. That's one of the reasons I didn't make the bounties super high is because I know that none of these take like unique, new groundbreaking code. It's all just kind of copy pasta type stuff since it's already well known. No need to reinvent the wheel. All right, now to the announcements. All right, I guess the big thing is as a lot of you may know, I'm really interested in game development, but I haven't really made a proper game. I made a lot of demos, made a lot of little things and a lot of tools, but I haven't made like a proper game with a proper release with like, you know, a Steam release page, you know, all that stuff that you want for a game or even an itch page or anything like that. So I really, really, really want to get down to brass tacks and do it. And I know, you know, I've read a lot about the subject. People say just join a game jam. For some reason, you know, I joined one and I had like no motivation to work on the game jam at all. So I don't know, that just doesn't motivate me for some reason. But getting to like write my own story and do things my own way and just implement all these algorithms and code sounds really fun to me. So that like motivates me more than a game jam for some reason. So anyway, long story short, I've pretty well settled upon a game design of something I really want to make. I don't think it's too hard. It's kind of hard, but you know, I don't want to just make like a quick something. I want it to actually be something I'm passionate about. So I don't know if I'm going to use this engine, Ancient Archer, or if I'm going to use some other engine, but I'm pretty sure what's actually going to happen is, well, the other announcement, this engine's probably going to get canceled. Well, at least this branch of it. I think that it's time for me to rewrite this whole thing. A lot of this code is like super old. When I'm trying to reason about it, it's very overcomplicated, and I just feel like I need to start over. I need to take it from scratch and understand everything because there is definitely mountains and mountains of code at this point. And when I'm trying to figure stuff out and figure out how it's looping and where I should throw in things, it takes me way longer than it should. So I feel like if I just step back and start fresh and just pull the pieces I need out of this one piece at a time and kind of reorganize it a better way. And you know, it is due time too. They say you do need to rewrite. It varies, but I think it's a good 3 to 5 years. And I'm in that. I'm probably in the 3-year at this, given that I started in college. I might even be long. I don't know. I'd have to like go look at date stamps to really figure out. But I am at the point where a rewrite is in order. So it does make sense for me to go ahead and start rewriting this engine. And I don't know if I'm going to call it Ancient Archer 2. I don't know if I'm just going to up the version. I think I'm just going to up the version. So about the name, I'm not real set on the name. The name was just like whatever came to my head at the time I started making it, basically. And it was of the idea, you know, like the physics of archery, and also like kind of just a pun of I'm taking a shot at this, and ancient because I felt like I was using ancient technology. Like I was starting out with OpenGL and I was like, I know there's like better stuff. I should probably use DirectX, and even Vulkan was coming out at the time. So I just named it Ancient Archer because, and also I really wanted to make like an archery game at the time, and I kind of did. It was for one of my little projects in school. I wonder if I have a version of that somewhere. It might be interesting to go over my really old like projects from school at some point and then do a video on them and see how bad my code was from back then or whatever. Let me know what you guys think about that sort of thing. I feel like it'd be fun and interesting, but I don't know how much people would actually want to watch that sort of thing. So yeah, rewrite, and I think on the rewrite, that's probably what I'll make the game on. You know, I thought about making the game on Unreal, on Unity, on Godot, and I feel like I'm always very annoyed when I use those engines because I can't do all the like really fine-grained stuff without digging into their systems and how they've abstracted it. So I'd rather just have raw access to the data and the code and be able to do my own thing that way. I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable writing applications that way. I don't really like using too heavily over the hood tools. I'm not one of those no code movement type guys. I love code. I want to see a lot of code, and someone else that's not interested in code can do the whole no code thing. All right, well, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate you guys. A huge shout out to my patrons for this month. You guys have helped me a lot. It just means a lot just to like know that people are willing to back me up and help me keep making these silly code videos and empowering someone that otherwise is just, you know, kind of like doing their own thing, chilling at home and working on code. All right, I don't know how to say thanks. That's basically what it comes to, but thanks. I do appreciate it. And if anyone else wants to sign up for next month, you can get on the list and get a little more access to me and all that stuff. Sure, hit me up or join. There's also a Discord, so you can jump on Discord if you want to talk about code and stuff. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.